it was honestly really hard. And I like felt really ashamed about it too, because I like, here I am like getting pregnant with perfectly healthy babies. I'm having perfectly healthy pregnancies. I didn't have to take the fertility drugs that I thought I was going to have to.
Right.
And like, I just was really sad.
Welcome to Mommispace. My name is Brianna Bernhard, your hostess, and I am a new mom. I selfishly created this podcast to get some advice and inspiration from the moms in my community who are doing amazing things while raising their families. I've realized motherhood is hard, but knowing I'm not alone in this call makes all the difference, and I hope you feel refreshed as you listen. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome back to Mommispace. This is Bree, and today I have with me Erica Beukelman. Erica, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or I guess maybe this isn't playing necessarily in the morning, so.
Yeah, whatever.
Good afternoon and evening.
I'm really excited to talk with you today. For those of you who tuned into the Thread the Future podcast back in the day, I had the pleasure of interviewing Erica and her husband about their businesses, as well as their lives as parents and all of that. But I'm really excited specifically to kind of dive in a little bit more today with you, Erica, about life as a mom and running your business and what that all looks like. But before we dive in, could you just share a little bit about yourself, where you're located, and a little bit about daily life for those of our listeners who have not heard about you?
Yeah. So I live in Costa Mesa, and I have 3 boys, ages 1, 4, and 5. Although one of them turned 6 this weekend. So sad. And I own a company called 1011 Makeup, which is also located here, based out of Costa Mesa. But we travel all over, and we do hair and makeup for weddings and photo shoots and commercial, editorial, celebrity. So that kind of keeps me pretty busy throughout the week. That, and then like my full-time job of school drop-offs, which I feel like is a legit like full-time job. And it's also like logistically, like you really have to like think about it. But so yeah, I spend basically most of my mornings dropping off all of my kids at school, and then I'll try and like see clients in between, like while the kids are at school, and then I'm usually available for school pickups.
Nice.
And then managing the house, like normal duties of cooking and all that kind of stuff. I definitely have someone else who comes and cleans. It's one thing that's like non-negotiable in our family.
That's probably smart.
I mean, I think I would consider giving up coffee before I give up my cleaner, because she's kind of amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like what I do most of my days. I do travel a lot for work, so that can kind of get tricky with like managing like who's got the kids and how to get the kids from like A to B. But we have a pretty amazing community out here, so
that's awesome.
That helps for sure.
Yeah, and just like a little side note, you and Jessie Hack are buds, huh?
Yes.
She was on the show recently too, and so I'm assuming some of your lives will look, I mean, there's some similarities, I believe, which I appreciate.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got one more child than me. But I literally just moved into a studio space with her too. So we literally like I got a text message this morning from my husband that was like a group message to Jessie and to Carissa, and it said, "Good morning, sister wives." So yeah. Our lives pretty much parallel each other.
That's awesome. Well, this will be fun then to kind of hear your side of it. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so could you kind of share the story of your journey into motherhood? How that looked for you? Was it something you're planning on? And then we can kind of go into how you started your business and what that all looked like for you. Yeah,
so I like always knew that I wanted to be a mom. I loved kids. At one point, I wanted to do like a daycare type of thing for kids, or like do some kind of like a community thing with children. Like I've always just loved kids. So when my husband and I decided to start trying, it was super unexpected that it was going to be so hard. So I have, it's called PCOS, polycystic. I'm just going to apologize now for my kids in the background.
That's all good.
It's called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which makes it a little bit harder to get pregnant. And so I had to use fertility drugs to get pregnant with my first. And it took us like a year and a half to get pregnant.
Wow.
I mean, once I started taking like the drugs, it was pretty fast. And then after that, it was kind of like, we didn't really think about it, to be honest. Like number 2 and number 3 were both, we're pregnant. And so the doctor kind of said that it like kind of kick-started my system back into place, which was really amazing, because I just assumed that I was going to have to use fertility drugs to get pregnant every time. And so that was really amazing. But because of the like struggle with getting pregnant to begin with, I like kind of had like this like whole major guilt thing happen when I got pregnant with my third, and finding out that it was a third boy. And it was weird because it had like absolutely nothing to do with the child that I was carrying. And I posted about this online and actually got quite a like nice response, because I was really nervous to put it out there, but I felt like other people have to, you know, I like needed to hear that other people were going through the same thing, you know? But like I was really, I mean, I like bawled my eyes out when they told me it was a boy, because I just assumed I was going to have a girl at some point. I do hair and makeup, like, you know, that's like, I always just looked like, I'm going to have 2 kids. It's going to be 1 boy, 1 girl. And then you're like, you know, 2 boys. I'm like, well, for sure my third's going to be a girl. Obviously, like I have to have a girl. And I struggled like real hard over the like idea that it was almost like mourning the idea of not having a girl. If that makes any sense. You know?
Totally.
And it was honestly really hard. And I like felt really ashamed about it too, because I like, here I am like getting pregnant with perfectly healthy babies. I'm having perfectly healthy pregnancies. I didn't have to take the fertility drugs that I thought I was going to have to. And like, I'm like feeling sorry for myself, or I don't even know if it was like feeling sorry, but as much as like, I just was really sad. I like mourned the idea that like there was no father-daughter dances, and I like wasn't going to do like pigtails on my daughter, or like get to shop for tulle, and like all the superficial stuff that like weirdly still felt like I needed it, you know? But yeah, so that was a really weird season. But he is like our third, I mean, and like I said, it had nothing to do with Asher, because he's perfect and like completes this family. But
that's so good though. I think that's really important too. I'm interested to see that article. Maybe we can attach it to the show notes so people can read through that, because I'm sure there are others dealing with similar things, and I just really appreciate that. So it was interesting for sure. And like even still, like I always get that, you know, comment like, you guys gonna go for the girl? And it's like, no, you don't think I didn't try? Like I'm 0 for 3, so pretty sure if we went for a 4th, it's probably gonna be another boy. Which like, it's interesting because it's like I still struggle with, I think I would be, I mean, obviously I would be okay with having a 4th boy, because boys are quite magical too. Like, you know, I get dressed and my son's like, you look like Moana, you're beautiful like Ariel, you know. Oh my gosh.
I mean, they're just so amazing. But yeah, sometimes I do like, you know, I see like friends go to like ballet classes and like all the cute little like girly things, and those like special like mommy daughter dates, you know, like getting your nails done. And it's okay that I like don't get to experience that, and I totally don't ever feel like resentment or anything like that. But there are moments where I like long for it. I told my husband that we're gonna save enough to when our sons get married. We will buy the wedding dresses for all of their future wives. Because I feel like then in that case, like out of 3 of them, like one of them has to invite me to the fitting, right? Like if I'm paying for it, like they have to allow me to come. Because it's like little things like that, you know? Like I just want to, I don't know.
I love that you think about that. That's so beautiful. Well, I was gonna joke.
Sure. I like literally think about it all. Like
I
really
was
do.
just gonna joke around and be like, well, hopefully someday you'll have three daughters-in-law. You know, that would be so sweet. That is such a sweet idea, though. I love
it. Yeah. I mean, right. My husband's like, you're crazy, but if that makes you happy, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so I would love to kind of ask you a little bit about your passions in life. Obviously, you've got a really successful business doing hair and makeup, and but is that something that still brings you joy in life? And like, how does being a mom like fuel those things for you?
You know, especially with the fact that I like have 3 boys. It's funny because a lot of time, or like most of the time, like I've always thought. Sorry, right now I'm currently multitasking, opening a baby bell and holding my child on my hip because he is always hungry. That's something that people don't normally warn you about. It's insane. 3 boys feeding them, and they're like not even like real adult. Like they're not, you know, like they're like half humans, or like, and they're still like eating me out of house and home.
No way.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it's crazy because I like was so sad about the idea that I wasn't going to have a girl and get to do all the hair and makeup stuff. And then like, and I would say like, I mean, this is my living. Like how do I not have a girl? But then now I look at it like I have all these boys and I still get this outlet of like feeling like I'm getting to do the hair and makeup for other people and like the little flower girls and, you know, and I really love it. Hair has always been like my number one, like I like knew very young that I wanted to do hair and makeup. Like I would play like hairdresser when I was
oh my gosh,
like 4. And right out of high school, I told my dad I was going to go to cosmetology school, and he was like, "You need to go to college first." But yeah, I just always knew that was what I wanted to do. And there's definitely like moments where I've had to kind of figure out like my balance of like not getting burnt out on it because I'm so tired with like home and then work stuff. And so I've let a lot go. Like I hired someone to do all of my admin stuff so that I don't have to do that. And so I can just be like, when I'm home, I'm home.
That's so good.
And then I started kind of getting a little burnt out from weddings. So I kind of like let go of that a little bit. And my girls on my team do more of the weddings and I do more of like the editorial stuff. And I'm really loving that right now because I'm feeling like I feel more creative.
That's awesome.
You know, doing that. So yeah, I don't think I'd ever get sick of doing hair and makeup though.
That's so cool.
And like, you can even like, do you know Carissa from JL Designs?
I don't. I haven't met her.
I'm like a psycho. Like she like launched these like this like bow line.
Oh.
And I literally was like, what if I like make it my goal? Like I'll wear a bow in my hair every day of 2018. And she was like, you've lost your mind.
Oh, that's so
But I
cute.
feel like it's like even little things like that. Like I get my little outlets of like I'm a mom of boys, but like I get to like play with bows and like do tutorials and like come up with ideas for little girls, you know.
That's so great.
Steal my kids or my friends' kids.
Yeah,
so that helps.
I love that. So how would you say like you stay inspired in the day-to-day with managing your time and even taking care of your heart? Like, because that is a ton. I know, like having to manage stuff at home and also at work. Like it sounds like with hiring people out to do the little tasks, that's helped. But what does it look like for you to stay inspired in the day-to-day?
I feel like a lot of it comes from like I have a really good community and like you kind of like see what other people are doing and kind of like, okay, that works for them. I could make it work for me in this aspect, you know, like I've learned, my son just turned on the noisiest car. I learned that if I don't say no to things, then I like really get resentful and like burnt out, and that's when I start to like lose like my inspiration over everything. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like I find inspiration like like different things all the time. Like even then the simple thing of like looking across the room and like seeing my boys like playing nicely together for 5 minutes, like that will motivate me for like the rest of the day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? On a day that I'm like feeling like, super burnt out.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like trying to pay attention to like those kinds of things. And then also I don't know, like social media, as much as like I want to like put my phone down and like not, but I don't know, it's like, and also recognizing that like what you see on social isn't necessarily like real life.
Yeah.
I still think you can get like inspiration from it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
creative moms and like things like that.
Yeah.
Just like keep me feeling like I'm not just like this, like going through like mundane, like every day, like here's my routine and now I'm like burnt out and I feel like I'm not contributing to my children or myself or my husband or the world, you know? So yeah, I try to keep active, which that helps. And then, I try really hard to like say no to things. That's been a really hard, literally, you guys, my son is like finding me everywhere I go. The like noisiest car. I'm like hiding like throughout my house.
No way. That's so funny.
Sorry.
I love it.
I don't even know what I was saying now.
Yeah, I mean, just that's great. That's great as far as how you stay inspired and managing your time. I do love to ask too, like how have you learned to like take care of your heart in the busyness too?
Oh, my husband's really great about like supporting me time. One thing that I like make a point to do, and partly it's for like business, like my nails always have to look nice for my work, right? And so every 2 weeks I go and I get my nails done.
Aww.
By myself, sometimes with a friend, and that's like my me time.
Yeah.
Or like you know, we have a sitter who watches my kids and Jesse's kids and Chris's kids, and she's amazing. And she's kind of like set on like 2 days a week, and like sometimes we like all use her, sometimes like a couple of us use her, but sometimes I'll literally like not have anything to do that day, but I'll like use her just so I can like get out and get refreshed and like have like a moment of like getting coffee with a friend or something just to like refresh myself, so that you like feel human again. Because as magical as like motherhood is and like being a wife and all of that, like sometimes you can just feel like you're going through like motions, like you're a robot, you know, and it like takes away that magic. And so I feel like to feel human again, like refreshes that magic of like, this is a good life, you know?
That's so good.
And so, yeah, like little coffee dates, or my husband and I used to have like a standing every Tuesday night. Tuesdays are a really good date night.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's like Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
And, like, a lot of restaurants will do like specials on Tuesdays. And then like the local movie theater does like $5 movie nights on Tuesdays. So Tuesdays are like the night. But we used to do a standing date night like every Tuesday night just for us to like date and like, you know, reconnect and stuff. And like that always like refueled me and like inspired me, and we would like have really good conversation that was like uninterrupted. I mean, like I'm literally like hiding room to room right now because I've got like 3 little bodies like following me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to have like an actual like solid whole conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like taking like even like just I don't know if my like word for the year is rest, but like for sure I told my husband this year I like want to be more intentional on like carving out space for intentional rest. Yeah. Because I just think it's like so important for me.
That's so good. I love that. Really, really good stuff. Okay, so now you mentioned earlier feeling some mom guilt. And I really, you're good. I like to talk about mom guilt, not to give it any power necessarily, but to kind of reveal it for what it is so we can learn to kind of overcome that. So my question to you is, have you experienced it? I know you mentioned it before, but also how do you overcome it?
Yeah, I would say like my greatest moment of like mom guilt was like when I felt so sad about like not having a girl, when I had these like perfectly healthy like little boys. It was like an internal struggle, and like I'll have moments still of like, you know, like I could just like, do we try for another one? Because I selfishly want to like just see what our little girl would look like, you know, like, is that actually gonna like make our family better, or is it just like for me? Like, what is it like? What part of me is it like fulfilling? But I don't know. I feel like mom guilt is like on the daily, and like if anyone's not feeling it, like I'd love to know their trick, because even something as simple as like, oh, I gave you a cheese sandwich for lunch.
Yeah.
And a snack of cheese.
Yeah.
And then another snack of a different kind of cheese. Like, I'm so glad I gave you all that dairy.
Yeah.
That's probably not great for your gut, you know?
Oh,
and so,
man.
like, I like have mom guilt over, like, you know, like what I'm feeding my kids. And I try, like, really hard. Like, we, you know, not that it's for everybody, but like we eat like a lot of whole foods and like very organic. And I'm like kind of the crazy person about like what my kids, you know, like the snacks that my like aunts and uncles will like bring over for them and things like that. But I struggle with like that. But then I'll also like at the same time, like my kids will go out with like grandparents, and I'll have like, am I not letting them experience like the fullness of like going out with their grandparents because I have said no to ice cream? You know, like, I don't know. Or even like we did like a wrapping session with all of our Christmas presents, which was so fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
But even like looking around the room, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't have enough gifts for my kids. I like literally went out the next day and spent like $300 more because I just was like, I don't have enough gifts for my kids. But then also I was like, what am I doing? Like, why do my kids don't know or care?
Yeah, that's so good.
You know? And it's totally, it's 100% like me. You know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with my kids. It has nothing to do with like other people. Like, whatever I'm feeling and internalizing, like that's on me. Like, no one else is doing that to me. You know,
that's
I like, recognize that, but
so
it's still hard to like get over it.
Yeah, for sure. Would you say that's like one of the key things that helps you kind of push through those feelings is like recognizing, hey, this is me, like, or does that make it worse for you?
Yeah. Well, I think it's both. I think it's like once you get past that, like, I'm just dumb. Like, this is like, what am I doing? Like, why am I putting this pressure on myself? Like, I'm the one who's doing it. Like, once you get like over your ego, you know, it's kind of like at the end of the day, like the perfect example is your kids open up all their presents on Christmas morning, and the thing they love the most is like the box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like the simple things. It's like the fact that I like watched my son actually color a car, and then like watched my other son like roll his train along the train tracks. I wasn't on my phone, or I wasn't like distracted. Like, it's those things that like honestly matter the most to my kids, and I feel like that's easy to do, but it's not also. You know what I mean?
That's really good. Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
I'm just like on a tangent.
No, it's so funny hearing you talk and then like having talked to Jesse. You guys like talk so similarly. I love it.
You should hear us when we're together.
Oh,
you have to like raise your hand.
Yeah. It'd be really fun to do something with both of you at some point. I thought that'd be hilarious.
We should.
Okay, so I love to talk about legacy and what you think about when you hear that word and what you want to leave to your kids someday as far as legacy goes.
Yeah, I had a hard time with this one. When Asher was just born, my friend Candace, her company is called Press Films. She like filmed me and had me write these like letters to my boys.
Oh, wow.
And I think at like the end of the day, like I just want my boys to feel like they were like loved like beyond measure for like who they are. Like, one of the things that we always say, like my oldest son, he's very sensitive, and he'll be like, am I still part of the family? I know you're mad. You know, and I'm like, I always tell him, I don't care what you do in life. Nothing ever will ever make me not love you.
Yeah.
Period. No decision that you make will ever make me not love you. And like, I just want my boys to grow up and feel like they were loved well.
Yeah.
You know, and like
totally.
one of the things in our, like on a wall in our house, it says, it's a sign that says "Be kind." Pretty sure my in-laws just walked in to the house, so let me just close the door because I can hear them all like,
no worries.
Grandma! Also, my house is super set up safe, so just because I'm in my room with the door closed, my kids are not left out there to fend for themselves, any kind of, but no judgment here, ladies.
No judgment at all.
I took the bobby pin away from my youngest child so that he wouldn't swallow it. No, just kidding. Kind of. But yeah, I have a sign in my house that says "Be kind," and like that's like our biggest thing is like I want my boys to know that like they get to control like how they treat people and like how they act, and like just because someone treats you poorly or does something to you that you don't care for, like, you get to decide in that moment how you respond back to them. And like I just want my boys to be kind at the end of, you know, like kind, and to like know that they were loved well and to like love others well. I don't want them to be like walked over or anything like that. Like that's like, I think like I want them to be like strong and bold and like courageous and like speak like their minds, but I want them to like know how to do it in like a gentle way too. You know?
Totally.
I don't really give you very straight answers.
No, that's really good. I love it.
We also have a big, like one of the first things my husband made for me when we were married was a sign that says like "Speak words of life." You know, and like I feel like we live in this world like that's just driven by so much hate. Like everyone's just like looking for something to hate. I want my boys to like be the opposite. You know, like that's so love everyone. Like don't judge people. Like be accepting. Like be helpful. Like if you see someone hurting, like do something for them. You know.
That's really, really beautiful.
And I also like really have to remind myself, like as a Christian, like I don't even like saying that. Is that so bad?
No, it's not bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I know.
But like honestly, like I want so badly. It's hard like especially with 3 kids, like my husband should come first. Like for me personally, like if my relationship with my husband's not good, like my relationship with everything else is gonna like kind of trickle down effect. And I want my boys to see that. But then also like I get so caught up and I like put my kids before my husband, and then like we're all feeling like neglected, you know, with each other, and like then it's like a whole separate trickle down effect thing. So I think that too, like I want my husband or my kids to like see like a good, healthy relationship with my husband, so that they like know how to model that. You know?
Oh, that's really, really good. Really good point. I love that. That's great. Yeah, really good answer for legacy.
I guess I just don't know like what my like one legacy.
I don't think and I think that's the point. Like really it's more for a discussion, and I love what I hear from different moms when I talk to them, because it's never like, I mean, sometimes it is one thing that it's like, all right, above all else, like this is the one thing, but I really like that it's not that black and white.
I mean, if they could all be like masters of puns, like that, I like job well done for me. You know what I mean?
I think that's a really good legacy.
This morning, my I had a friend on speakerphone, and like, I mean, well, I was just gonna say, can I cuss? But Jessie,
you can.
I'm sure I was gonna say my whole morning was literally like a shit show. Like my youngest son like explosive diaper. So then I was like everybody in the bathtub, and then I was getting like one of them out of the bathtub, and then the other one was like pouring water over because he was like, it's a sunken ship, look, mom, and I'm like, oh my god, like you're flooding my bathroom. And like meanwhile, like friend was like on a speakerphone, and I had like set the phone down for a second to be like, hey, just hold on 1 second, and then like my world exploded. And I hear her in the background because she can hear like my little ones in like the conversations, and she goes, "You're literally raising class clowns." And like in that moment, I was like, "I'm doing such a good job."
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That she could like so hear them like in their responses to me, because it was literally like one of them was like, slipping, but then he thought it was funny he was slipping, so then he like did the whole like like the opening scene in not Secret Life of Pets. What's that? Zootopia. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
The opening scene with the like and blood.
Yeah.
That's like that describes like with the mothering of boys like to a T.
Oh my
gosh.
Like,
yeah, so she could hear all that like chaos in the background. She's like, "You're literally raising class clowns."
Oh, I love that made you feel like you were doing a good job too.
I mean, I was voted
so great
class clown.
No way! Oh,
I think we talked about this. I was voted class clown, and I was also on homecoming court like the same year. So I feel like those like save each other.
Wow,
you know what I mean? Like
mad respect. I'm
fully rounded. Like
you're,
round out, you know.
I mean, you're way cooler than I thought you were, which is saying something. So that's awesome.
You know.
Okay, cool. So I love to end with some fun questions. The first being a favorite product for yourself or for your kiddos that you feel like you could not live without.
Water wipes.
Ooh, yes.
I mean, like there's so many others that I would love to say, but like water wipes are like, I mean, I like have them on a subscription. Nice.
Now those are different only in that they're just water, right? There's nothing
like
else added.
99% water and then like 1% fruit extract.
Oh, okay.
So they're like unscented. My family is like, I'm like allergic to life outside. You know what I mean? So, and then my boys, their skin is like so super sensitive. I was gonna say I love Tubby Todd. Tubby Todd bath products are like, I literally swear by.
I remember you telling me about those when I was pregnant. And I have got some stuff, and it's pretty fantastic.
It's so great. I don't ever use like a diaper cream or anything. Like anytime anyone has like a rash, even my husband, if he gets like a dry spot on his face or something, I'm like, use the Tubby Todd.
Yeah.
But yeah, water wipes. There's probably like a pack of wipes like in every single room of my house.
Nice.
I mean, how do you live without the magic eraser?
Ooh, yes.
Like my 5-year-old drew like what kind of looked like a vagina on my wall and in Sharpie, and I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. And so I tried everything, like every suggestion that like, you know, Facebook has to offer, because in moments like that, that's what you ask Facebook land.
That's right.
And finally I was like, I'm just going to try the magic eraser, which I don't know why I didn't think of that first. And it literally was like, vagina be gone.
No, no way. That's so good to know.
Really, yeah. So water wipes. So basically I live in a world of like anything that can clean. Yeah. But I swear by that.
That's so funny. That's perfect.
I mean, my personal favorite thing is facial oils.
Ooh, what would you recommend?
I do my own facial oil, but there's a lot of different lines. Like Juiced Beauty makes a really nice like organic one.
Oh yeah.
Beauty Counter makes a really nice like natural facial oil, but I swear by it for like moisturizing your skin.
Okay. Yeah. What do you make? I'm probably going to ask you more questions when we're done here, because I'm actually looking for stuff.
I do oil cleansing, so I make a cleanser out of castor oil because it's like a natural astringent.
Okay.
So it's like drying. So that's the part that's like drying for your skin. And then I combine a moisturizing oil with that. So I do like I don't know how to say it. I should, because I do this for a living. But jojoba?
Oh, jojoba. I just bought some of that.
I always just like combine it and just go with like a jojoba.
Yeah.
But, I don't think
I'm probably not saying it right either.
That into my cleanser. So it's like literally castor oil, the moisturizing oil, and then you can add like frankincense or lavender or geranium, like any other like essential oils that are like good for skin. And then I use that to cleanse. And then when I'm done, if I feel like I'm a little more dry than usual, like it depends too, like summer, winter, seasonal, then I add more of a moisturizing oil back onto my skin again. Okay,
cool.
It will change your life.
Oh, good tips. That's perfect. Okay, cool. I'm definitely going to ask you more. And, speaking of, we can find you on social media. We'll add all the links, but just for right now, could you do a little shout out, your Instagram, if people want to hit you up? Or see you?
It is at 1011 makeup, 1011 makeup.
Perfect.
And my Twitter is the same. Do people even use that still?
I
feel like I said that same thing at the end of our last podcast.
I don't personally, but that's great. Throw it out there.
Yeah. And then I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
My Facebook page is like 1011 makeup and hair or something like that.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll definitely add those then.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 more questions. First one would be favorite holiday tradition with your family. Do you have any of those?
Oh, I mean, Christmas is my jam.
Yes.
Like, my Christmas tree is literally still up.
Oh,
in case you're wondering. I told
dang.
my husband last night, I said, can I just refuse to take it down? Is
Yeah.
that possible? Someone told me, like, if you're, like, Hispanic, that there's, like, a tradition with keeping your Christmas tree up till, like, the 6th of January, because, like, the 12th day of Christmas or something
Okay,
around.
all right.
Something like that. I'm not really sure. I'm new to this tradition.
Yeah.
But I decided I'm going to do this because January 6th is my birthday. So my husband can't argue.
No way.
But yeah, other than that, I would say we do like matching onesies. On Christmas Eve with my boys, and then we do our own little like Christmas morning here at the house on Christmas Eve morning. That's like when we celebrate our Christmas.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know, like can I just say like Christmas?
Yeah.
Is my favorite. I mean,
yes.
Like literally like Hallmark Christmas movies.
Ooh, yes, all day.
We literally bought cable so that I could have Hallmark.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
perfect.
Anything and everything Christmas.
Beautiful.
We started last year. We started doing we would like walk Balboa and like look at all the lights with like hot chocolate. Except for this year, my son told me that he does not like the taste of my hot chocolate.
Oh no. That's so
he can
funny.
Make his own
yeah.
But yeah,
that's great.
I don't know, like the whole season is my favorite. Like the dinners, parties that come with it, and like the decorating and the refusing to take down the decorations. All that.
That's so good. Yeah, that's great. And for those of you listening, this will air later than January, but your birthday is tomorrow, right?
It is.
Because we're doing this January 5th. So happy early birthday to you. That's
Thank you.
Very happy. And enjoy your Christmas tree tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. And then the last question would be a piece of advice that you'd give to a young mom.
Give yourself grace. Like every season is hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that's probably like, oh, great encouragement. But like,
no, it's good.
Like I felt like when we had one child, that was like the hardest thing that we were going through.
Yeah.
When we had 2 children, that was the hardest thing that we were going through. Like where you're at is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
Where you're at. Like it doesn't matter what anybody else says or what anybody else is going through. It's it's where you're at. It's your season, and give yourself grace. Like it's okay to make mistakes because out of mistakes comes growth. Yeah, and also like I think it's really important too, like not to forget like yourself and all of it too, because it's pretty easy to like just like forget your identity. My 1-year-old is standing at the door waving by. But you know what I mean? Like, so taking the time to like go do something for yourself. It doesn't have to cost money. Like you can go on a walk or you can, you know, visit a friend or go get a coffee. Yeah. Get your nails done. Like
it's really good.
Taking all that time. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like remembering just to give yourself grace because every season's different and life happens and you know.
Wise words. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for doing this. I am so excited to share it and really honored that you would take the time to share your story and a little advice from your end of the world. So thank you.
Thank you. And I apologize for my cough. I don't smoke.
No worries. It's we were saying at the beginning, right? Real life. Yeah. Real life times.
Totally.
Awesome. Thanks.
Well, thank you.
Come give me a kiss. I know you won't want this forever. Let's see how you do.
Thank you guys for tuning into this week's episode with Erica. If you are interested in more about her, learning more about her and her family, even what she does, be sure to check out the show notes and her Instagram for more. She is a wonderful person. I know she would be down to talk to anybody. So yes, thank you to Erica. Guys, thank you so much for hanging in with me and tuning in each week. It's so cool to see how many people are listening from all over the world, you guys. I was just looking. I have a way of finding out who's listening and where. So I'm watching you. Just kidding. That sounds creepy. No, but it is true. There are people all over the world listening, and it's really exciting to see that and to get excited about the community that we're spreading. So one of the ways that you can help do that, if you like this show, first of all, share with a friend. We know there are moms out there who need some more support, need some encouragement and connection. So one way you can do that is to share with a friend, share on Instagram and Facebook. And also another way is to leave us a rating and review on iTunes. This is a huge way that we can get the word out to moms of all life stages, because it brings up our ratings on iTunes. That way people, when they go to iTunes to even search for a podcast, our name will show up. This podcast will show up. And that's a really good thing, because we want all mamas to be connected and to feel supported. So if you could do that, that would be so amazing. That would mean so much to me. All of the details on how to do that are in the show notes, as well as the links for our guests. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Mommispace, and you can email me always at mommispace@gmail.com. I'd love to chat with you. Thank you again. Remember, you are enough, you are loved, and you're doing your very best. See you next week, Mama.